What's happening, Vinyl community? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you guys are when you're watching this. It's been a little bit since my last collection update, and I'm happy to be back with you guys. I've got a big stack of stuff to show you. Some stuff from Record Store Day this year, grails that I picked up along the way, and everything in between. So without further ado, let's get started. The first two I'm going to show you are actually what I picked up for Record Store Day. And this year I actually stayed local. The last couple years I've gone up to North Carolina to spend Record Store Day with a couple friends in the vinyl community. Um, Chris at Tunes from the Man Cave and Dylan at Noble Records, and a mutual friend of all of ours. His name's Josh. Take Me to Birch on Instagram. You'll sometimes see him in Chris's videos, Tune from the Man Cave's videos. But while I've had fun the last couple years, this year was a little different, and I just decided to stay local. And basically, the list was decent. Seems like the one that everybody was after this year was the Wicked soundtrack. Again, teach their own. There was a few things that made me want to get up out of bed and make the hour and 15 minute trip down to Triple Play Records in Grand Junction, which is the closest record store to me. And got there about 5:15, 5:20 in the morning. There was already 5 or 6 people in line. A couple of the guys that I recognize from previous events. There's one guy in particular who's an older gentleman who likes to rent a hotel for the weekend and comes down from the mountains, and the hotel's right up the road, so he can just walk down. And so we got to chatting, and of course, with there being a Taylor Swift release this year, there was a few Swifties in line. Really nice folks. It does go to show you that music can span generations, and parents and kids can find stuff that they find to have in common. And so the two copies of the Wicked soundtrack that the store got were actually snagged by that family. It was a mom-daughter team and their friend. Her daughter and her friend got the copies, and there was a little bit of nastiness from people in line. It's like, well, show up earlier. It's just that simple. But I'm gonna stop yammering because I got stuff that I was after. First one is Public Image first issue. This is the unreleased U.S. mix of their debut. I guess the story behind this was the original mix that they were going to put out, but they for some reason shelved it. I don't know why. I've owned an original of this album. It's an absolute amazing post-punk album. The lead singer John Lydon, aka Johnny Rotten, is known for being in the Sex Pistols, but to me this band is actually better because the Sex Pistols were just basically pure punk, and not to take anything away from them, but to me they were very one-dimensional. So with this group, after the Pistols imploded, it allowed Lydon to kind of experiment, and some of it has some of that punk, post-punk influence. Um, the original lineup is, and I do not remember the drummer's name, but it's Lydon, Yal Wobble on bass, and Keith Levine on guitar. And this is a must-have album to grab for your collection. I'm really interested to hear what the differences are between this and what the mix was that got released that's widely available. So I was happy to get this copy. The next one is one that I wasn't sure if I was going to get, but I'm a huge Gorillaz fan. And if you watch my videos, you know that I've had multiple copies of Demon Days, and actually in this video you'll see one more, but this is the final upgrade. But when I saw that this year that there was going to be a Gorillaz release for Record Store Day, I had to have it. And I was lucky. This is one of the last copies they had. This is Apollo, Welcome to the World Famous Apollo Theater, aka Live Demon Days Live from the Apollo Theater, Harlem, New York 2006 on limited edition red vinyl. Haven't opened it yet, but it looks to be basically the whole album, the whole Demon Days album performed live. I've had a chance to watch the live performance of this on YouTube. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing performance. So I'm very curious to see what this sounds like on vinyl. To close out that part of it, my opinion of Record Store Day this year was, so not to go off on too much of a tangent, but when it comes to Record Store Day, I got reminded this year kind of about the negative aspect of the event. Just the greed of people and the selfishness of people. I mean, there were some good folks in line, and that more than made up for it, but just when the doors opened, there was a lot of pushing, and just it reminded me a lot of what I hate about Record Store Day. It shouldn't be about, oh, I have to have this really rare item so I can turn around and flip it, which there was a lot of flippers in line this year. It should be about the music, and it should be about the camaraderie between people in the music collecting community. But sometimes you just have to push the negativity out of you, away from you, and just enjoy the positives. So that's my little spiel about Record Store Day this year. Hopefully the Black Friday event will be better. Went to Triple Play today to pick something else up. It won't be in this video because I'm still in the process of cleaning it. But I did stumble on this in the Just In den. This is Wells Fargo. Watch out. So Wells Fargo is so if you're familiar with Zamrock, psychedelic / rock music from Zambia, this is very similar. This group is from neighboring Zimbabwe, formerly Rhodesia. Very similar kind of sound to bands like Witch and Ngozi Family out of Zambia. They're really known for the track that's the title of this album, Watch Out. Just very interesting to see the influences that Western music had on Africa. Depending on the country, sometimes you'll get material that sounds more rock, and then if you go to like Nigeria, Ghana, that kind of area, you'll get more funk and soul, that kind of thing. But great compilation. I picked this up at a great price. Original releases from this band are impossible to find, and they are very expensive, and that's very common with a lot of the African stuff that you find. It's usually either beat to crap, or if they're really nice copies, they are expensive, and they're usually in collector's hands. So I was really happy to get this comp. Speaking of African music and that kind of thing, I'm not sure if this one was in a previous video, so if I'd have some duplicates in this compared to one of my other videos, I'm sorry. Like I said, it's been a long time since I lose track. This is Mansion, Devil Woman. This is an original press on Clover Records out of Nigeria. Really nice copy. Just Afrobeat, Afro-funk. Great stuff, honestly. I've been looking for a clean copy of this for a while, and this was about as good as you're going to get. Plays really nice. And was able to get through a dealer out of California, Mono Records. Shout out to you, but if you see this video, you're always providing the community with some really amazing stuff out of Africa, so thank you for that. It's like I said, it's very difficult to find this kind of stuff in good shape, so I generally wait to find the right copy, and if I can do it, I'll do it. If I can't, I can't. But it's getting harder and harder and harder to find this stuff now that collectors are going over there and searching high and low for this stuff, and now they're asking premiums. The sellers are asking premiums for them. So I was very lucky to get this, and I'm very happy to have it. This next album came courtesy of Magic Isle Vinyl in Austin. Magic Isle is a great little store that deals specifically in stuff from Central South America, Africa, Latin, Afrobeat, all kinds of stuff, and they've got some amazing stuff. They did a drop with late last month, excuse me, that was primarily Latin stuff, and I saw this in the drop video, and I contacted them immediately. Thankfully, they ship through they do mail order. This is a Virgin by Traffic Sound, an amazing Peruvian psych band. Very, very difficult to find this kind of stuff. And if you watch Crate Diggers, the Crate Digger series on YouTube, Jello Biafra, who's got a very, very interesting collection, talked about these guys. And so I got very curious and listened to them on Spotify and really found myself liking them. Didn't think I'd ever find an original copy, especially a clean one. And this one turned up at the right price and I jumped on it. The funny thing is, apparently it's a lot of people are after this one because I posted it on one of the online vinyl community boards, and like there were people jumping up and down like, where did you find this? I've been looking for it for years. Just turned up in a shop in Austin. So this is one of the big grails for the year. This next one came through a seller out of Europe. Again, I'm always on the African stuff. I'm looking for the best copy that I can get. And this one is about as good as I could get. This is Anything You Sow by William Onyeabor. William Onyeabor is a legend in the African music community, especially like in his home country of Nigeria. Not a lot is known about the guy. If you can find the documentary Fantastic Man on YouTube, I highly recommend you watch it. It talks a lot about about William, and basically after a number of years he basically decided to quit the music business, became a recluse, and joined the church and became a religious man. And his stuff is very synthesized oriented. I mean, if you look at the cover here, this is a primary instrument that he uses in a lot of his music. It's a Moog synthesizer, and great stuff. And while he was very popular, again, finding playable copies is getting harder and harder to find. So this is a really nice example that I found out of a collector, and I believe it was Czech Republic. So, sir, if you watch this, thank you for this. This next one you've seen a couple times before, but late last year I was down recovering from spinal surgery, and had a lot of time on my hands, had some spare cash because I wasn't having to commute to work and do all that. So I decided to buy one grail with the money that I had set aside. And like I said, I'd had 2 copies of this before, and I wanted a really clean copy. And the sealed one turned up at a great price. This is Gorillaz Demon Days, first UK press, still in the shrink. This thing is near mint. I was the first one to crack it open since it was produced in the early 2000s, and I played it once, and I've left it alone since. So it's basically near mint, but it's pretty amazing to hear one of your favorite albums and be the first one to listen to it, crack the plastic on it, listen to it for the first time. Again, massive album. I mean, Feel Good Inc. was everywhere that year, and so was Dare, 2 of the standout tracks on this album. This whole album's amazing. Reissues are around, but the originals are getting harder and harder to find and getting more and more expensive. I was checking recently. I think they're in the $300 to $500 range, but a good reissue is still well worth the music, and I'm very happy to have this, and this is my forever copy. Aside from just a little bit of bending from being sealed all that time, thankfully the vinyl wasn't warped or anything. This copy is beautiful, so very happy to have this back in the collection. This next one was sort of a impulse buy for multiple reasons. Everybody's got their quote-unquote guilty pleasures. I wouldn't consider my music that I like guilty pleasures anymore. I used to. I've been a fan of Lady Gaga since she came out, and will always love her music. And when this album was announced, I pre-ordered it. Then I found out that she was doing basically signed copies. Missed out on the first run. She announced that she was going to do a second run. and I got in on it. Like, they sold out in like 5 minutes. But this is Lady Gaga Mayhem. This is her newest album, and this is the one that's got Abracadabra on it. And there's the signed insert. This album's got a lot of influence from bands like Nine Inch Nails. If you listen to it, it's very electronic sounding and a little bit darker. Personally, I think it's a great album. Not what I would have expected in a good way. So I was really happy to get this. I'm especially happy that, you know, I was able to get it on a signed edition. This next one is it was an impulse buy. I'm a big shoegaze fan. And one of the guys that I buy from on Whatnot, which is an online selling platform, recommended, you know, picking this up at a good price. It's more, I don't know word this, kind of dream poppy, but leaning towards shoegaze. This is Hatchie, Giving the World Away. Like I said, it's got some shoegaze influence, and at the price I paid, it was worth the gamble. I liked it for what it was. And I believe this is the special online edition that was in like, almost looks like bubblegum colored vinyl. This next one is a group that I fell in love with when they came out, and when the lead singer went on to join Jack White's, formerly the White Stripes and the Raconteurs, side project, Dead Weather, I got even more hooked on her singing. But this is The Kills. Oh wow, this is an original press. Great indie album. Really hard hitting and highly worth a listen if you've never heard these guys. Her singing style is very reminiscent of, to me, bands like, I would say kind of like L7, that kind of raspy voice. But great stuff, and highly recommended if you can pick this up. I'm not sure on this next one if I've showcased it before. Again, if I have, humor me. This is Pearl Jam Versus. This is my favorite Pearl Jam album. I know everybody gets stuck on 10. Personally, this is, I think, a better album. It's much more polished. This is an original press. Again, picked up at Triple Play a number of months back. And it's kind of got an interesting story behind one of the tracks, Glorified G. So the story was that I believe it was the drummer, him and his buddies were going camping. They decided to pick up a couple 22 rifles, and he came in. I guess it was kind of a weird day, and they got to talking, and somehow the subject of guns came up, and the drummer said, was talking about, he was, that he was sort of, he grew up around guns, and I guess Eddie asked him, "Do you have a gun?" And he goes, "No, I have two." And that's where the line, "Got a gun? No, I've got two," came from. But, politics aside, Pearl Jam's a great band, and I love their music, and I was really happy to pick this up. It's a nice plain copy. I'd love to find one with the hype sticker, but this would be a great placeholder for the time being. This next one is actually another indie band that I never thought I'd have an original of this album. This is Sleigh Bells Treats. This is an original pressing picture disc. This actually came through a buddy of mine, again on the Whatnot platform, Gunnar. If you look him up on Whatnot, he has a very eclectic taste in music and a lot of amazing indie stuff for sale. So if you're interested in getting on Whatnot, check him out. But very noise rock, very loud. Loud, in your face, and I love every bit about it. I learned about these guys through when I was still living in Dallas and going to Good Records, and for anybody who is watching this video from the Dallas area that shopped at Good Records, thoughts and prayers go out to Chris Penn's family, the co-owner of Good Records. Tragically lost his life recently due to complications from an accident, and for the family and friends, I'm deeply sorry to hear that, and my thoughts and prayers will go out to you guys. But if you can, if you're in the area, definitely support Good Records. They're currently in Garland, Texas, is where their location is. Great indie store. But great album. Very, very happy to find an original press of this. It's quite difficult to actually find. There's not very many copies online at all. The next one is another one that I found looking at Triple Play. Just happened to be a really nice copy. It's an essential to me, being a big post-punk fan. This is the Clash London Calling. This is an original press. I cannot tell you what variant it is, but it is a confirmed original press. Super, super clean. What can I say about this album that hasn't been said? I mean, it really is a must-have. And I know the Clash gets a little bit of flack for not really following the quote-unquote punk movement and branching out more. But that's the reason why they survived while punk basically died after '78. Because they were able to embrace more of the reggae stuff, the stuff they grew up with. And this album is just a monster. And reissue, original, doesn't matter. Definitely add this in your collection if you don't have one. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's on so many must-have lists. There's really not much more to be said. Listen to it and enjoy it, and you'll see exactly why it's on this list and why I personally recommend it. The final one is just what can I say about this guy that hasn't been said? I mean, this has been his year. This is Kendrick Lamar, GNX. This was the online. I believe it's the gray colored variant, the most limited one that came off his website. While this album doesn't have this big diss track, Not Like Us, which there was a reason why it's not on there. Kendrick said he wanted this album to stand alone on its own. Which kind of sucks, because it would be nice to have have that track officially on some sort of pressing, but I'm sure maybe in a deluxe edition down the line we'll get it. But this album, it's great, and it was really surprising when he dropped it late last year online. And I mean, Kendrick's a beast as far as hip hop writing goes. I mean, he's a beast. And I love the social commentary that he adds to his music. Like I said, in the 90s we had Biggie, Tupac, Dre, Snoop, late 90s Eminem, Nas, etc. I mean, to me, this guy's right up there with him. He's made hip-hop more accessible to a new generation. And for that, I mean, he's up there with the best. But highly recommended album to grab. I mean, this album just came out a few months back, so definitely pick it up. And with that, that's it for this collection update. If you guys like what you see, please click like and subscribe. One minor announcement. I mean, obviously a lot can change because it's not until next May, but I definitely plan to be attending the Austin Record Show for the first time in over a decade. So you may see a lot less grails on this channel with collection updates, but that's the reason why, because I'm going to be saving for that show. But without further ado, guys, it's been a pleasure. And again, if you like what you see, please click like and subscribe. And with that, I'm going to close out, and I will see you in the next video. You guys take it easy.